Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest version of Tales from Outer Space, where I take an HFY story from somewhere around the internet and read it aloud for your enjoyment. All the relevant links are down below. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube comf to help this video and channel grow. Anyways, as always, I hope that you enjoy. I would just like to thank the following Tier 5 patrons and channel members for supporting the channel: FallenAngel, BuzzKillington, Datamagnet, and Bob the Dragon. Thank you again. And now, on to the story. Story number 1. Found Out, written by the Bad Crafter. So, let me make sure I'm understanding you with pristine clarity, Admiral. You're saying you just killed 17 million humans? The hologram nodded proudly. Affirmative. Our orbital strike eliminated one main civic center, plus several outlying settlements. Their defensive network never even had a chance to come online. The Korathi ambassador pinched the bridge of his snout and poured a glass of ammonia-enriched liquor before downing it and slamming the glass down on his desktop, shattering it and causing the projection of the Admiral to flinch. We, should be expecting their surrender any day now. Surely, after seeing what casualties we can. The ambassador got him off with a snarl. Admiral, he said, retrieving a second glass and filling it near to the brim. Allow me to explain exactly why you're about to be executed. The hologram blanched. Executed? How dare you? I'll have you know that I'm a veteran of no less than 6 Shut the fuck up, dead man. The ambassador hit the mute as the hologram went on a tirade, slowly but steadily draining his glass in full view of the emitter that was projecting his image to the soon-to-be dead Admiral. Are you done? The ambassador asked after watching the hologram rant and rave in silence. Because honestly, I didn't listen to a word of what you just said. I had you muted so that I could drink in peace, since odds are it'll be the last time I'll be able to do it for a long time. The hologram seemed to bark in a muted silence. Still muted. Because, honestly, I don't give two Galician mentai craps about what you have to say. You just executed an unauthorized military strike against civilian targets and the single most dangerous species in the known systems. The ambassador's hand moved across the holodisplay, projecting and transmitting the screens to the Admiral, who was now virtually frothing in the mouth in frustration and rage. Yes, the humans are engaged in a trade war with us. Yes, their fleets are blocking several of our systems. Yes, their technological progress is several generations behind our own, the ambassador said, filling a third glass and sipping. Under any other circumstances, your actions would be lauded and a glorious war would be declared for the betterment of the conglomerate. However, you chose to execute this action on humans, on their homeworld. If you'd bothered to do even the most basic and fundamental research on them, you'd understand why you'll be facing public execution. The hologram stilled. Now you're listening, the ambassador said. Then listen well, because you've just doomed twice, possibly 3 times the number of our people to die that you just killed. The hologram paused before starting to try mouth off again. Hush, the adult's talking, the ambassador said, sending a projection into the infuriated rage. I'm just going to keep talking while you stand there and try and justify your actions, because, honestly, I couldn't give an Aldebaran's genital pouch about what you have to say. See, Admiral, you committed a cardinal sin. You killed human civilians. The ambassador took a long, slow drink. You see, if you killed human soldiers, they'll simply take it as a challenge. Their soldiers volunteer to be there, knowing they may die. However, humans are notorious for the protective nature over the civilian populations. They take great offense if they are ever targeted. With a swipe of a foreclaw, images began to play across the projection. Every single one, an act of humans committing acts of carnage. Euriptes 6, human colony, 1,100 humans dead. The Terran Confederacy launched a military campaign that killed 97,000 Albrexes. Yanari 2, human mining fleet destroyed by Solbatarian privateer, 557 dead. Humans killed 11,345 Solbatarians and decimated over half of their standing fleet. Kandari Prime, 76,000 humans dead or enslaved. The Yonkai Omnicorp doesn't fricking exist anymore. Zeraxon 3B, the Goth Hive invaded a human colony world. They're still fighting after 11 annals, and the body count stands at 43,000 humans to 11 billion Goth dead. Lights began to flash in the holograms, and the shadows of the crewmen running in the background could be seen through the projection as the Admiral suddenly began to take on a terrified expression. The ambassador drank again. "Good news, Admiral," the ambassador said, raising his glass. "Looks like you won't be seeing execution on our homeworld after all." The hologram became a chaotic whirl of motion, shadows clashing with shadows, and the Admiral drawing his sight off and firing at something off camera before 2 holes appeared in the forehead right before it exploded on camera. The ambassador sipped again as the pounding started at the door. "Cortex, message to the homeworld," the ambassador said as the door blew open and 6 human soldiers stormed in. "Tell them to surrender." 3 shots and a wet noise later, the Omnicam was turned around. A helmeted Terran soldier looked into the camera. "Looks like you fucked around and found out." Feed cuts. Sol 3, 17 million humans dead. Kolrothi, 637 billion dead. Homeworld destroyed. Kolrothi conglomerate seeds 37 systems, 25 colonies, and submits 11 systems and 5 colonies to the Terran Confederacy Protectorate status. End of story. Story number 2. My Friends the Humans, written by Provisional Rebel. Humanity looked to the stars in wonder when we first found them. They reminded us as much of ourselves. A fledgling race still bound to its own solar system, but well on its way to exploring and thriving on other celestial bodies. They were artists and philosophers, learning and exploring with a childlike wonder. If I could have kept them in that moment forever, I would have been happy. But then, war came. Not to them. They were small and insignificant to the greater galaxy. We were the target. They felt a kinship with us, and we to them. Before our governments had even made a formal defensive pact, we had humans arriving on our worlds from trading vessels. They were wholeheartedly there to protect us, to lay down their lives for those who had shown them the way to the stars. And we welcomed them with open arms, because we are not fighters. We thought that together with humanity, our peaceful races could overcome the odds. And then we learned more of the humans. They were warriors as much as poets, but they brought an almost calm to the tragedy of war. They took prisoners, clothed, and fed them. I witnessed a corpsman charge into the enemy fire to save a comrade, and once more to save an enemy. I saw a soldier throw himself over a child to protect her from a blast. I saw the tide shift, and we began to reclaim what had been taken from us. And then our enemy learned of where these soldiers who defended us so fervently had come from. Our enemies had been losing, and in their desperation thought that they could break the back of our resistance. I still understand little of its mechanics, but the weapon they used was a form of mining charge, meant to crack open a planet for easier processing. The humans hadn't even considered the possibility when the fleet entered the system. They engaged and fought as they had. But the enemy did not form lines. They charged into the heart of their system and crushed the weapon into their homeworld. I wasn't there when it happened, but nearby on patrol with our own defensive forces when we received the news. We came as fast as we could, about 2 weeks, and found nothing. The human civilians on their other worlds were gone. All we found was empty settlements and silence amongst the stars. And then the war was over. To our horror, the prisoners the humans had taken were all transported from their barracks. I don't know what became of them, but perhaps that is wishful thinking on my part. Within a cycle, the enemy was gone. We moved into their territory and found only bodies. Some diseased and decayed, some torn to shreds, some scorched with radiation, but all dead. Humanity has changed since that time when they looked to the stars. They do not sing, they do not paint, they do not sculpt. They hang in the inky blackness of their space, consumed with rage. We are the only race that they will hold dialogue with. We are the only race they spare. We have not been assailed now in 30 cycles. No border skirmishes, no wars, no petty squabbles. No one dares attack us because they remember the cost. It has been a golden age of peace and prosperity, and I would trade it all to have my friends back. Humanity is gone. The humans are all that's left. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.